Hello everyone, Railgan here, and today we're having a look at 4 games that I played against my GM friend Khodi. They're all going to be on Purity and Industry, and I'm going to go for a version of my 2 Base Mutalisk Opener or Roach Opener in every game. And we're going to have a look at how I win each game, and what my opponent does, what I do, and what eventually decides to win, where possible mistakes were made. This game I went pool, hatch, gas, so it's like a standard 2 base opener. It's quite a few replays and I don't want to make the video too long, so we're going to breeze a little bit through the starts, because the start, I'm going to try to point out the important parts, but this is what you're usually going to see. 1 gas, saturating, main and natural, either link speed or a roach warren, queens, 1 spreading creep, another 2 injecting, and I'm trying to stop the Reaper. My opponent is going for the BC opener. As you can see, the fusion core is going down. As my lair pops, I start the Spire, 2 additional gases into a 4th gas, Spore Crawler in each base. I built a Roach Warren, and I'm pushing out and about on the map with a couple of speedlings that I need to build to defend against the Hellions. Right here, I'm sending an Overseer into his base. You can see that I do not quite manage to see the fusion core, but I saw the starport has a tech lab, isn't researching anything, so chances are it's BC, like very likely. My response is to go for Mutas and immediately fly around the BC across the map. I kinda knew where the BC was. So I go around the BC, fly across the map. He has to recall the BC, and we're going to have a look at the workers. I'm going to open the workers kill counter so you can kind of see what's happening here. So my opponent this game was very greedy. He didn't really build any widow mines, he didn't really build any turrets, and then I also go for a ling run by down here, and all of a sudden he's down 22 workers, right? So in this game, we can clearly see the strength of the Mutalisk. The 2 base version also sent the queen across the map. Yikes, I think she's gonna die. Gonna close that again. So in this game, we can kind of see the strength of the 2 base Mutalisk, as I'm taking my 3rd base now. I'm building Corruptors to finish off the BCs, and I'm also building Roaches. And if you do not respect the Mutas, he was trying to be cheeky, right? He moves across the map with the BC, hopes to catch my Mutas. Mutas, however, fly past the BC, and all of a sudden he's in a really tough spot. BCs now go in. Another ling run by down here. Because I'm doing so much economic damage to him, it's hard for him to build enough units on the ground to really stop even my ground run bys. So he's already down 37 workers. If you look at the workers active, it's 64 against 44 workers. So a lot of damage has been dealt to him. And for the finishing blow, I'm just gonna go for a lot of roaches and corruptors. I'm not getting any of the roach ravager upgrades, as you can see at the top left. Only no upgrades at all. I only got the +1 missile upgrade for my corruptors, because they're kind of important to kill all the BCs. Taking my 4th, thrown up my 3rd base, and I'm just spamming the roaches. When I want to move out is when I usually build the ravagers. Here we see the BCs, they're kind of annoying, they're kind of being annoying. However, once the BCs port across the map, it gets a little bit tricky for him. I mean, once they port home, because at home he now cannot dodge the fight anymore, right? He actually has to fight me. So I'm trying to bile the BCs to death, and the only real, I mean, he has like 3 cyclones and everything else is BCs in this game, mostly because I got a huge advantage, and I just kind of steamroll him here. Of course, I can't really touch the BCs, but I don't need to. The supply is telling you guys the tale of the game, as he is getting rolled. So how did I get into this position? It was mostly just, this game it was mostly just the Mutas that managed to sneak past him, get into the mineral line. He didn't respect the Mutalisks, and this was the first game that we played, right? So now he's going to switch it up a bit, right? He's like, the Mutalisks, okay, they got past me, they did a lot of damage. How do I change that, right? What do I do? What do I do? I know my opponent is going for a 2 base Muta version of some variation. That's kind of what I do. So this is a 5.8k rated Terran, so he's a pretty good player. So we're going to have a look at the next game and how he decides to try and beat my build. Once again, I'm going for a pool hatch gas opener. This time I'm building 8 links. Slight variation. Usually you build like, actually I went hatch gas pool, I'm sorry. I went for a hatch first opener this game. Into a very fast layer, I'm getting link speed into a very fast layer. I built 8 links, that's a lot of links, right? And now my goal is to get across the map with the links. My overlord saw the Reaper moves down, and I immediately try to go for a counter with the links, right? If you build 8 links, you better do damage with them, because 4 links are what you need to deal with the Reaper, so any more links that I build, I actually have to deal damage with. I go in, a little bit of delayed mining time, I lose 2 links for a mule. That's a trade I'm willing to take, especially as the mule was fresh. Sadly, his Reaper is also able to do a little bit of damage. The build on my side is kind of the same though, right? I get 3 gases, I get a Spire, I get a 4th gas, I drone up, I build some links. My opponent has to be wary, of course, like there's links on the map. Sadly for him, he lost the Reaper there. He killed a total of 1 worker. My links are not quite enough this game, so right here you're seeing me defend against Hellions while having a total of 0 links on the map. So what I'm trying to do, let's rewatch this quickly. This is very important, because if you play like me, this will happen to you a lot, right? 4 Hellions enter a mineral line, and all I have are 2 links to defend me. I have 10 more on the way, but that's going to take a while. So we're going to minimize the worker losses here. I lost 5 workers so far, 6 workers now to the Hellions. And for the 6 worker losses, I managed to kill all but 2 Hellions. So I think he might get 1 or 2 more workers here. Let's see, he gets a total of 9 workers. So 8 workers killed by 4 Hellions. That's completely fine. 8 workers for 4 Hellions is a completely fine trade. As 8 workers cost 400 minerals, and so do 4 Hellions. So that was okay. And that was with me building 0 defensive units at all. However, I did build links, and of course I'm going for a counter, and this game we're seeing something different, right? I go for the counter, and I immediately, I'm doing damage to him early on with links now, early on being the 6-minute mark, kind of early, right? I'm getting some scouting intel as he's building additional Hellions. Once again, Mutalisks fly across the map. Once again, BC is not in position. He did not learn, right? I see that he's building Hellions, so I know there's no Widow Mine, so I'm just going in, dealing damage. The BC is trying to chase down the Mutalisks, but the Mutas are doing so much damage to him. My Mutalisks and links together now killed over 30 workers, right? And now another link flood is coming. And I know I'm in a good position. So there's no need for me to play defense. If I can kill all his Hellions and his BCs chase my Mutas, he can't really stop the links, right? So now I sent the links into the main base. I have the Mutalisks at the natural. Now they go over to his 3rd base, freshly muled, to take down that. I didn't really drone up my 3rd base this game. As you can tell, I'm playing. Wait, open the. As you can tell by the number down here, I'm only at 38 workers. I went for a lot of link floods. It's not really an all-in, like I can transition from this, I can build drones, but I noticed, because I killed a lot of his Hellions with my Mutas, I decided, now is the time, I go for links, and he has no wall off at the front. There's no way he can stop all my links and my Mutas at the same time. Right, so the first game, it was mostly like the Mutas going into the main, past the BC. The next game, there was a bit of a link flood. Still the same opener by me. I mean, I went pool first one game, hatch first the other game, but game plan was kind of the same. So this game we're going hatch first again, hatch, gas, pool. I drone up my gas. 2 queens, 4 links to deal with the Reaper. Reaper did a little bit of harassment there, nothing too bad joining out the Reaper. Once again, similar picture, 1 queen spreading creep, 2 queens injecting. Larry's on the way. I wrote a guide on this build as well, by the way, so if you can check it out on spawning too. It's called 2 Base Mutalisk something. I might put it in the description down below. So once again, layer done. I'm going for 4 gases total. Gonna get the Spire in a second. I delayed my Spire a bit accidentally. Nothing really happened on his side of the map. I just have some links that are zoning him. This Overlord is giving me vision on the Hellions, so I know as soon as he moves out with the Hellions. Right now, I'm getting the +1/+1 upgrade as well, so very fast upgraded links. And my links are going for a run by. So this time he made the mistake of like he moved out before cleaning the link run by. Now that killed a total of 4 workers, so it's not the end of the world, right? But what happened is, this means he cannot pressure me with his Hellions. Now my Mutalisks are already almost out on the map. BC is once again coming. I delayed my Spire a little bit, so the BC is here before my Mutalisks are. I was trying to spread creep over here, but he expanded too fast. Pepe hands. BC is being annoying, of course, doing quite a bit of damage. Very hard, very annoying. And then he teleports down there, and let's rewatch this quick. This is another way for another quick way to end the game against somebody that is going for the BC. The moment if they harass you with the BC loses a lot of health, and if you feel confident to defend at home, like I had 3 queens at the Spore Crow, I was like, well, I mean, so what? I lose like 8 workers or whatever. Maybe a little bit more. I'm at 44 workers, so he has a worker lead right now. But I have Mutas, and he doesn't really have anti-air, so I moved across the map. He flies in with the BC, lands on top of the Mutas. Mutas kill the Hellions. This zones him out of his third base. Now, this time around, at home, I'm droning up 14 drones at a time, right? If you watch the last game, of course we did. We were watching a YouTube video. Railgan, calm down. What we saw was, I was on a very low drone count, pushing a lot of links. This game, I'm making a different decision. I already pushed him away from his third base. He can kind of bunker behind this. He has a wall off here, so I don't feel like if I make a lot of links right now that I'm going to break him. Right? I mean, I don't know, maybe, but I felt like it would be risky. So instead, I'm just droning up at home. Right? I feel very comfortable here. But main base saturated, natural saturated, third base saturated, taking my 4th. Not gonna take a 5th because I put a tumor there. And I'm still building a lot of Mutalisks. The problem that this Terran has is he's a good player, but he's not respecting the Mutas enough. Right? He thinks, well, Cyclone BC is enough to stop Mutas. But you really need some force to stop the Mutas. Some force or Widow Mines. Like that, those are what's really going to stop my Mutas. And we're going to see that his decision this game is not going to be very fruitful. Like the BCs are going across the map, but I don't really care. Like, what's he gonna do? Stop that base? Then he ports home because he has to deal with the Mutas. Mutas go in, kill one Cyclone after the other. The Cyclones are just not strong enough. Then I go in, I kill a lot of workers. Looking at the workers killed tab, we're now at 43. He's down to 37 workers. I'm flooding some links across the map. I focus down the BCs. The BCs cannot teleport away, and I lose every single Muta I had. I lost every single Muta, and of course, also sent links down here to his third base to take out any worker there while I was zoning his Hellions and Cyclones into his main. If you watched my CVC 2-base Muta video, it's kind of the same thing, right? You want to control this, either this part or this part. If you control the natural, you send links to the third base. If you control the third base, well, I mean, wait, I said that wrong. If you control this part of the map, you can kind of send links down here and just clean up the third base. That is what I wanted to say. And if he has his entire army down here and you manage to zone him out this way, then you send links into his natural and main base. That's kind of how it works. Yeah, over here, I'm harassing him with Mutas. He has Cyclones there, so I can't quite get in. So I just go for a Binding Bust at his third base to break down the wall. Whole lot of mech units here, but they all get trolled by Lingbane, and then I notice he probably F2A moved all his units down there, so I go into his main base with my Mutas. I kill a lot more workers once again. And he's down to 28 workers now, loses his last BC, and has to GG out of the game. Kind of a different game. Final game. So last game we saw how I just counterattacked him while he was going for the more of aggressive approach with the BC instead of using it to defend. But the moment he recalled, he sadly had to sacrifice his third base. Even if the BC would have arrived, he would have lost the third. I mean, would have lost a lot of workers at the third base, definitely. So maybe he could have taken the third base slower. But what we're really seeing is he's not respecting the Mutalisks enough. So we're playing the 4th game in a row here, guys. 4th game in a row. Once again, we know this. 4 gases, Spire. Same old, right? Overlord is positioned over here, scouting. Oh, this was cute. This game... Sorry. This game I built more links defensively because I was like, I don't really want to lose a lot of drones against your Hellions again. So I built a wall over here to try and lure him in to push in here. But he saw it too soon. I should have maybe hit the links a little bit better. But it's hard. Like, I wanted to lure him in. So, because you cannot hit the link, my drones this way. So he would have to drive in and then I grab him. I should have had some links here, then I could have gone for this around. Yeah, so I'm trying to deny his third base again. He's going for the BC again. I'm going for the Mutas again, and this time we're seeing more respect, right? Yes, the turret ready. We're seeing some improvement from the Terran side as well. Like, I'm getting up 1-1. The Terran is taking no damage this game, right? Everything is fine so far. Of course, it takes his third base a bit slow, but hey, my Mutalisks. Let's see. I kill a total of 7 workers. 7 worker losses. That's completely fine. I mean, he still has all his units. If you check the supply, it's fine. I think this is a pretty good game so far. Once again, my Mutalisks do go in though, kill another 8 workers, but Mutalisks are very weak in combat, so you kind of have to do worker damage. It's very... If your Mutalisks do no worker damage at all, something usually went wrong. Right here you're seeing my harassment kind of fall apart. He's Yamatoing my Mutas. We're even in worker count, so I mean I killed 16 workers, right? But we're still even in workers, so it's not like I'm like, oh my god, I'm so far ahead, there's no way you can beat me anymore. No, we're fine. We are fine. We are fine. Once again, I'm going for a Mutalisk counter though, right? I mean, like, I'm just building up my Muta count because if you go for PCs and not Widow Mines and not Force, this is what happens. This is what I'm showing you guys here. PCs and BC Cyclone is not a counter to Mutalisk. If your opponent just goes BC Cyclone, no Force, and as you can tell, there are people that don't get it. You just spam Ling Muta and you kill him. Because now, once again, what is happening, like, we're seeing this ever so often. Mutalisks over here are zoning him. Link's going to the third base. Now he has to move past my Mutalisks with his Hellions, while my Lynx shred his third base, and at this moment he just dies, because like every unit that he moves from main to natural gets killed by Mutas, while my Lynx just do the rest. It doesn't matter if he has turrets, my Lynx don't care. And yeah, what did we learn? We saw quite a few ways to use the Mutalisks to use Mutalisks to end games. We saw some different approaches to early game defense. I think it was a pretty educational game of the 2-base Muta sword. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.